Hello everyone, I'm Ankit and you're watching StudyIQ IS English. In our today's video, we'll try to understand what makes Jagannath Temple's Rath Yatra, which is taken every year, so unique. Now, the reason why we are covering this topic for our today's discussion would be very clear if you understand the context. Now, Lord Jagannath's Rath Yatra, which is taken in the city of Puri in Odisha, it began this year on July the 16th, and once it began, almost 2 people have died because of the stampede and hundreds of them have been injured because there has been unprecedented rush of devotees during Rath Yatra. So at the cost of their life, what makes it important for the devotees to witness this Rath Yatra? This is what we are going to understand. And as you can understand from state government's perspective also, this cultural event becomes very important because they've deployed nearly 12,000 police personnel, including 19 senior IPS officers, and have deployed 100 senior administrative officers to oversee security and administration of this event. Now, this news is particularly important from UPSC's perspective. So, what we'll try to understand here, what is the cultural significance of this Rath Yatra, not just for people of Odisha, but for the grander scheme of things, basically the devotees of Lord Jagannath. And then we'll also try to touch upon various aspects of art and architecture, which makes the Jagannath Temple of Odisha so unique in Indian cultural heritage. Now, the notes which I will be using for our today's session, you can also download them by going to a particular Telegram channel called as ETS Live. And while you're at it, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel also. Okay, so let us start by understanding what does the Rath Yatra actually embodies. Now, Rath Yatra, it is taken every year on the second day of the Odia month known as Ashad Shukla Tithi, which is the bright fortnight. And it is celebrated to commemorate the journey of Lord Jagannath and his two siblings, that is his elder brother Lord Balabhadra and his sister Devi Subhadra, as they take their journey from Jagannath Temple of Odisha to a nearby temple called as Gundija Temple. So why are they visiting Gundija Temple every year? Because it is their aunt's home. Their aunt's name is Goddess Ardhashni, who is also known locally as Moshima. Moshima means maternal aunt. So the Gundija Temple is alternatively called as Moshima Temple also. So this Rath Yatra actually celebrates the journey taken by the three siblings, including the two siblings of Lord Jagannath, to their aunt's home and coming back after the end of this period. Okay. Now, why do people throng this event? This is what we have to understand the cultural significance of this particular heritage. Now, the deities, they board the three huge decorated chariots following a ceremonial process called as Pahandi ritual. Pahandi ritual is the process which celebrates the leaving of Sanctum Sanctorum of the Lord Jagannath and his two siblings and entering the chariot, right? And before this chariot is pulled for a 3-kilometer long journey to the Gundija temple, the scion of the erstwhile royal family of Puri, who acts as the first servitor of lords, they perform a special ritual called as Chhera Panhara, right? In this ritual, the head of the Puri's royal family, he performs a service by sweeping the floor of the chariots with a golden broom, right? And millions of devotees then take part in pulling the chariot on the Bada Danda, that is the grand road in the town of Puri, signifying this 3-kilometer long journey from the Jagannath temple to the Gundija temple. Now, what happens is that Puri, in terms of Hindu religion, is very important shrine. It is one of the 4 important Char Dhams. Char Dhams are basically important temples in the Hindu, which includes Jagannath Temple of Odisha, Dwarka Temple in the state of Gujarat, Badrinath Temple in the state of Uttarakhand, and Rameshwaram Temple in the city of Rameshwaram in Tamil Nadu. So these are the 4 dhams of Hindu religion, and one of them is Lord Jagannath Temple. Now, it is believed from the devotees' point of view, witnessing the deities on their elaborately decorated chariot would cleanse the deities from any kind of wrongdoing or sins. And additionally, it will also grant them salvation, that is free from the cycle of rebirth and death. That is also called as mukti. So this will provide mukti to the devotees, and that is why devotees throng in millions to witness the Rath Yatra. Now, as per the religious text Bamdev Samhita, any pilgrim who witnesses these 4 deities, 3 siblings including Lord Jagannath and their Moshima, on the sacred seat in Gundija temple would give them a place in Bakunt, which is heavenly abode, right? And for non-Hindus also, who are prohibited from entering the Jagannath temple, this provides the only window where they can witness their beloved Lord Jagannath. And that is why you would see many foreigners also entering into the town of Puri to witness the Lord Jagannath Rath Yatra, which takes place every year. Now, the three chariots which these three siblings actually bought include Salvad Rath, which is for Lord Balabhadra, the Darptalan Rath, which is for Devi Subhadra, and the Nandi Ghosh Rath, which is meant for Lord Jagannath. Now, all these three Raths individually are constructed every year by those artists who use locally available trees. And these Raths have their individual colors, height, guardian deities, etc. Now, what you have to understand, the workers who participate every year spend 12 hours of a day for 2 months in order to construct these chariots. They perform this not as an economic activity, but rather as a hereditary service, because they are not the formally trained carpenters or artisans. Rather, these are the artisans who have gotten this skill of making the ruts from their forefathers. So this is a hereditary service they are performing every year. So this is why this Rath Yatra is important for local people and all the devotees of Lord Jagannath, including the non-Hindu devotees. Now, let's move forward by understanding the art and architecture of the Jagannath temple. Just see this image of Jagannath temple. You'd find it a bit different in construction as compared to temples that are available in the North India, which subscribe to the style of Nagara school of architecture, as well as the temples which are available in South India, which subscribes to the style of Dravidian school of architecture. So what makes Jagannath temple unique? Because it follows a distinct style of architecture called as Kalinga school of architecture, which is prevalent in temples of Odisha. Now, let us specifically first talk about Jagannath temple. It is a Hindu temple located in Puri, and it is believed to have been started to build during the reign of King Anantvarman Chodganga Dev, who belongs to Eastern Ganga dynasty, and the construction of this temple started in 12th century. But the completion of this temple happened in 13th century, specifically in 1230 AD under the reign of Anang Bhim Deva III, who installed the deities in the shrine after conduction of the process of Pran Pratishtha ceremony. Now let us move back to the Kalinga school of architecture. The construction done in Kalinga school of architecture, it divides the temple structure into three different categories. First is Rekhadul, which includes the sanctum sanctorum of shrine called as Garbhagriha. Then includes Pidhaduls, which are commodities hall meant for assembly, meant for offerings, meant for participation in religious ceremonies. And then comes Khakradul, which subscribes to a more traditional style of architecture. So what is significant about Kalinga school of architecture? Let us try to discuss that. Now, the Lord Jagannath temple in Puri also subscribes to the Kalinga school of architecture. It consists of three distinct types of temples or structures called as Rekhadul, Pidhadyul and Khakradul. Both Rekhadul and Khakradul are the ones which houses deities. Rekhadul is where the principal deity is located, Khakradul is where the other deities are located. And then comes Pidhadyul, which constitutes outer dancing halls and offering halls, basically assembly halls. Now the temple, it is itself located in the center of a rectangular compound which is surrounded by the fortified walls. So in this style of architecture, Kalinga school of architecture is very similar to Dravidian school of architecture. Because in northern temples, following Nagara school of architecture, you won't find a fortified boundaries. But in south, that is Dravidian school of architecture, and in east, that is in Odisha, where you follow Kalinga school of architecture, there are fortified boundaries which covers the compound in which the temples are located, and the direction in which the temples are constructed, they are located on a high-rise platform, right? In addition to that, let us specifically talk about the temple that is the Lord Jagannath temple of Odisha. I told you the Rekhadul is located here where the Garbhagriha is located. Then comes Jagmohan halls where other deities are located, and then comes Nat Mandir and Bhog Mandir where the offerings and other religious ceremonies are held. So the first important fact that you have to know, just understand this curvilinear architecture. It houses Vimana, also called as Rekhadul. This is where the sanctum sanctorum, that is the principal deities, are located. Now the central shrine which houses the deities, it is made in a convex curvilinear spire in shape, which makes it unique. And the crown on top, that is this part, This part houses what is called as Neela Chakra, which is an 8-spoke wheel belonging to Lord Vishnu. Then comes Jagmohan, which follows pit dual structure, which is meant for assembly halls of devotees, as well as Nat Mandap, where cultural performances and devotional dances take place. Then comes Bhog Mandap. Bhog means offering. Offering of food of deities happens here, and these components are designed to follow an east to west layout. This creates a symmetrical architectural flow, and that is why symmetry is one of the key aspects of Kalinga school of architecture, which the Jagannath temple actually belongs. Now, before we try to solve a practice question that can be asked in UPSC exam based on the discussions we had right now, you need to understand art and culture. The topic based on which we discussed our today's video is an important part of UPSC exam. It is asked in form of questions in both prelims and mains. So you can love it, you can hate it, but for sure you can't ignore art and culture. To know more aspects about temple architecture, architecture followed by Islamic rulers like Mughals, Delhi Sultanate, etc., you need to take classes in StudyIQ P2I foundation batches, where classes for art and culture and other history subjects, in addition to all the important subjects for UPSC, are taken, and these batches are offered in English languages also. Please understand, if you take admissions right now up till 21st of July, you're gonna get the best rate possible. That is the 7,999 for the courses. 7,999 for a year basically means 660 rupees a month, which translates into 22 rupees a day. 22 rupees is a cost less than the cost of half of a liter of milk. Half of a liter of milk is usually available at 28 to 30 rupees every day, right? So at the cost less than half a liter of milk for a day, you can get these courses. Please remember to use this code ATS Life if you have to get maximum discounts before making the payment, right? If you have any doubt, just give us a call on this number. We'll be happy to help you out. Now, before we end up our today's discussion, this is a question that can be asked in UPSC exam, very similar to the UPSC question of 2021 with reference to Jagannath temple at Puri. Please consider the following statements. Do let me know the correct answer in the comment section, and before we end up, this is where you'd find the notes on the Telegram channel called as ATS Live. So this is all from my side for today. Please have a very good day. We'll see you there again very